WIIFTV PM.
WIIFTVP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTVP. Media's just for you and me.
Oh.
regular love, baby. It's that waking out your sleep and me massaging your feet, shit, baby. It's that anything you want, I'm only here to please, shit, baby. You're my command, hey. Your kiss sends me a shot of dopamine. Oh no, I never had an interest in love until I met you. And I don't know if it's real or is it just a phase I'm going through, but I feel that it's true. We don't need no labels, babe. What we got is something different. We don't need no labels, babe. Lady, we don't need no labels to show that what we have is something special. For sure, for sure. I don't feel it's a one night stand. No. It's that love you in your eyes. Make love in paradise. I want a lifestyle. It's that sweep you off your feet. Give you everything you need. That's what I'm feeling. It's that don't pick up the phone, cause we wanna be alone. And I never thought I'd feel this way, then you came along and proved me wrong. Oh no, I never had an interest in love until I met you. And I don't know if it's real, or is it just a phase I go through, but I feel that it's true. We don't need no labels, babe. What we got is something different. We don't need no labels, babe. Lady, we don't need no labels to show that what we have is something special. For sure. Since you came in my life, I see so clear now, yeah. You're so special, no need for labels.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Mayor Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. So many shady characters like Madigan and Blotto. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends just DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Lenders give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Oh, wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis in the building. But, yo, it's a Tuesday, and I am cutting out early. Riis, I'm leaving. I'm bouncing out again today at 8:30. Man, I got like a month more of this to go. But at least I got off for Thursdays. So I'm only out on Tuesdays now. But I am grinding, boy. Like Riis, I'm gonna write a book. Cause I'm about to walk in here and these black people about to disappoint me again. Just to go along, get along, go along. And I just can't. I don't know if it's I'm a contrarian by nature. Or is it, Riis, that I just can't sit by. I just can't sit by and watch it. Whew. All right, man. It is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler in the building on a Tuesday. DJ Riis the Ruler. How you feeling, man?
Blessed by the best. You already know the rest. How you doing today?
Hey, man, it's cold out there.
You know what? It's cold, but see, like
It ain't like. Go ahead.
Like yesterday was like a little bit. See, like you missed it. Like you came in there. You was like, huh? What happened? Like anything after 5, it was a different breed yesterday after 5.
Cold and snow, though, is different.
Yeah, that's a.
So snow is one thing. Cold is different. Like, it's the frigid. Like, it was almost like so cold that it was like not cold. Like when because I'm driving the winter car, so I gotta park the winter car on the street so I could put the summer car in the. And I went to go put the summer car away, and then the garage that I was going to put it in was frozen, so I couldn't get it open. Right? It was like, Dad! You know, I had the car already done. You know what I'm saying? It's like perfect. And I'm scared to ride. I don't want to drive it nowhere. Except to the garage to lock it down. And Riis, the door was frozen, so now I got to park on the street. Okay, I gotta tell you, I have learned a lot in parking on the street in these last few weeks. I mean, so let me just tell you, I think I have been spoiled because in the last 12 years, Riis, I've always had a park and in a garage. Heated, generally. This just going to get your car, like parking it on the street. First of all, just the nervousness of somebody breaking in. Then the second part of just sitting there and having to warm it up. Hey, bro, that's a and then in this, it's cold outside. I walked to the car and it like I got it started and it was like 13. It said 13. By the time I got to Dunkin' Donuts, it was at 10 degrees. And freezing is 32. It is cold out there. Like, you know that whole don't zip your jacket up. You know, I usually just walk outside. I got my jacket in my hand, blah, blah. Man, I'm going to walk out with my jacket all open. You know, oh, no. No, sir. It is okay, and I just want to say this one more time. I just want to remind you all that it was colder than this when Jussie Smollett said that he got robbed. And Riis, are you still sticking with the Jussie? You still holding on to the lie? Like, as cold as it is outside. Riis, you know how, what if I would have waited just 5 minutes to come downstairs?
Can you just imagine how he felt with that rope around him in that cold weather and that he played bleach on him? Can you just imagine having to take?
No, I can't. I cannot.
Like, trying to put a rope around his neck. They threw bleach on him. They called him racial slurs.
Oh, okay, Riis. All right, you still with it? You still rocking with it? Okay, I got you. Oh, Riis. All right. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Rule in the building. It's like we ain't going to have a Ruthie more today. I'm getting out of here early, so let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. We are up, and away. Riis, it looks like we're going to have to fly around the country. I don't know if y'all saw it in the paper and on the news yesterday, but the last black men standing at CPS turned in their resignations yesterday. So within the course, Riis, of 3 months, old Pedro Martinez has managed to remove all the black men from leadership. And now of the 18 people on the CPS executive team, only 4 are black. They pulled it, bro. They pulled it real quick, fast, in a hurry. And I'm gonna go over this because I think we gotta have a real conversation with ourselves, y'all. Like, on the status of what, like, sometimes I feel like I be looking, like, you know how the kitty cat look in the mirror and see a lion, but it's still really a kitty cat. Like, I feel like we look in the mirror, we talk about ourselves as black like it's the 80s and 90s. But it's really the 2000s, and the game has completely changed. And it's like it just happened over metamorphosis, and you don't realize, and then you look up and you like, dang, wait a minute. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Did you see JB Pritzker? I was wondering how he was going to navigate this. Yesterday, JV, Junior Varsity. Yesterday, Governor JB Pritzker, settled a brewing union dispute. Riis, did you see yesterday, Governor Pritzker was having a challenge with the Illinois Education Association, which is the largest teachers union in the state, because they wanted paid leave for COVID. And they were saying that if they use up all their sick days for COVID, that they would be not getting a check, and they would still be expected to go to work. And if you got COVID, you just can't come, right? And they're not giving them a remote t-shirt option. So yesterday, JB Pritzker signed a bill that said that essentially you could use administrative leave days if you get COVID, but only if you're vaccinated. If you ain't vaccinated, even if you testing and you get COVID, you got to pay for them days. They making it almost like in a minute, bro, it's going to be like you can't.
You think that's a good look with
No.
election coming up?
Well, if 80-something% of the people are vaccinated in that union, right? I mean, they agreed to it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think JB Pritzker's in trouble. Just in general, minus all the shenanigans, minus all the tricks. Like, Riis, everywhere I go outside of Chicago, everywhere I go outside of black people, them white people do not seem to have forgotten. They seem to be upset, Riis. Like, they seem to be upset in places like Oak Brook, Downers Grove. Like, you go out in the suburbs, they be like, F all your... Like, if they store or they restaurant got a problem, they be like, JB Pritzker said you got to wear a mask up in this bad boy. They have a sign that says his name on it. If you don't like the way we're treating you right now, blame JB Pritzker. So I think JB's got some real issues, man. I just think it'd be black people smiling. Like, I think that's why he be coming around to black people. He be like, I could do anything to them. They gonna keep on smiling. Yes. I feel like black people get around rich white people. Like the rich white people gonna give them their money or something. Like they hope that one day. Did you ever watch Different Strokes? This is what I feel like actually happens. And I think as much as I used to love Different Strokes, I think it has put a, if you saw it during the 70s, it was maybe during the 70s, maybe late 70s, 80s, definitely. If you watch Different Strokes and you're a black kid, I think what happens is these black elected officials and not even just black elected officials, black people in general think that one day there's going to be a Mr. Drummond that is going to come and save them, and the rich white dude is one day going to be Mr. Drummond. And I think every kid, all these people be sitting around waiting for JB to one day be like, I'm going to adopt y'all all and give everybody $1 million. It ain't going to happen, Flash. You got that? You know, remember that clip? Keep that. We're going to be needing that one. You need to just put that in your pocket, because that, what did you say, Governor? The least, right? But you see what I'm saying? Like, right, Riis, it was just 4 years ago that J.B. Pritzker was right here. And he got caught, not by us, but just on the, Bruce Brown and them was trying to pull it. But I just think that, can you imagine being able to say that and not having to pay for it at all? Like, know that you could just, that ain't nobody gonna say, like, everybody gonna be like, I didn't hear that. What offensive Negroes? And I don't even want to bring it back up because it's like from 4 years ago, but it just be like, and then in 4 years, he do all the stuff he did not do to us, especially with this cannabis thing. And it's like, what's up, dog? It's election time. Mount up. Where's my Negroes? I'm going to ride them to the end of this election. You all smile. I just put, look, black people, he put $90 million in the account. Black people was acting like they was going to get it. You know, like he put $90 million in, so he was going to come around and be given. They be waiting for JB to pull a Willie Wilson. Right? Like, I wonder, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least, though, if JB did a Willie Wilson, like, imagine if he just had, he rented out a church and was like, everybody come sit in the thing, I'm going to give you $100,000 each. I wouldn't even be mad. I understand. I really would. But JB don't even be giving nobody nothing. And people be like, man, one day he is going to be like, maybe, they be like, maybe I'm going to be Arnold or I'm going to be Willis. But one of these days, and somebody who going to be Abraham, the goldfish, right? You know? They be like, he going to take us away and I'll go live on in a pen. Different strokes to move the world. Yes, it does. It takes different strokes. JB Drummond. That is what I'm going to start calling him. All right, y'all. Let me see what else we got. Did you see City Council took a stand finally against police settlements? That's pretty dope, right? Like, they finally took a stand. Guess who they took a stand against, though? A black woman. It's like, check this out. So they passed all of the settlements, but they finally decided that they were going to take a stand yesterday. Now, I do kind of get it, but I do feel like y'all picked the easy one. So basically, a black lady called the police because her son was having a mental health breakdown. He had two butcher knives, right? And she called the police to get him because he was threatening or whatever. One police responded with, like the certified intervention training, blah, 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 blah. Right? But she tried to talk to him in some kind of way. She wound up getting stabbed in the face. So the other police arrived on the scene and they told him to drop the knives. He didn't drop the knives. They popped him. So the mom, who initially called the police on her son, who stabbed people, sued the police for $3 million.
She didn't win, did she?
The city was going to settle for $125,000. And the Latino alderman was like, hold up. Wait a minute. She called the police because her son did a stabbing, stabbed the officer, and now she finna sue because we didn't have training. Nope, we not paying that. Now, I am going to say it makes 100% logical sense, except for I thought it was pretty interesting that the first time they done the first police settlement they done ever blocked in like 20 years is this sister who was clearly an easy target. Right? Clearly an easy target. But boy, it's like the whole thing of understanding the game. Right? Like understanding basically the Latinos were siding with law and order, right? They took, how do I explain this? So they stood up against these outrageous police settlements without having a trial or a hearing, but they used a black woman as the example of the norm. So it's like when you hear about these crazy police settlements, they flipped it so that the crazy settlement, the police were the innocent victim. Do you see what I'm saying? You see how you was just like, please tell me she didn't get paid. Well, now the story, though, and when you talk about these outlandish police settlements, will not be the story of murders, that police murder people and shoot people innocently. It will be in the news, the police settlements are these people when the police are just doing their job and they're just suing us for the hell of it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the story they put out is almost exactly opposite of why we fight these police settlements. Does that make sense? That's kind of
perfect sense. I get it.
And it's like, who is our media strategist? Because now you can't, realistically, and they gave the white guys an out, and you know the black people will be in this position of defending. We got to figure this out, man. It's just like we gotta be on our game, man, because these people be playing us so crazy, and it just be like, come on, man. 13-13 tie. All right, y'all. I don't know if y'all are watching this Marie Newman story, Congresswoman Marie Newman. If you hadn't seen, this is crazy. This is what they sent Barack Obama to, they sent Rod Blagojevich to jail for. Basically, Marie Newman gave somebody a high pay, the guy that was running against her, an Arab guy was running against her, so she offered him Riis $30,000 a job, paying $30,000 a month if he didn't run against her. And so basically, he got out the race, took the $30,000 a month, and then she got a little. This is what always happens, Riis. In the beginning, you're willing to pay whatever, right? You be like, you do the math, you do the calculation. You be like, I'm going to make $1 million a month. It's worth me making $1 million a month to pay this person $30,000 if they going to make it. Then after you get comfortable making $1 million a month, you be like, man, why I'm paying this punk $30,000 a month? He don't do nothing. But that dude is the person that made you get there. Like, you wouldn't be making $1 million a month if it wasn't for the $30,000 a month person. And people always make their mistake because they forget where they started. They forget how they got there. And so then they be mad that they got to pay this person because they be like, man, I could get me a new car every month. I could go to Paris. I could fly around the world every month, but I got to pay this chump and he don't got to do nothing. Well, she didn't pay. She stopped paying. Guess what he did, Riis? He went public. Now she got a case and an election, and they going to use the case in the election, and he going to get the check. Pay what you owe. Don't forget. Like, even if it's 20 years later, right? Never forget how you got there. And if that's the deal you made, stick with the deal. Because if the person then has the opportunity to do you, because again, remember when you didn't have nothing. You be forgetting when you had nothing. And so this Marie Newman story, look, he was her top foreign affairs consultant. Hey, man, I'd have took that job. 30 stacks a month, bro. 30 stacks a month. One job. Part-time at that. Part-time.
I don't even want to work it. You tell me to do this, you just going to send it to me now.
You got to do a job. Now, I'm going to put some requirements. Now, you're going to have to, you for $30,000 a month, are you going to give me a report? Are you going to give me a report? Are you going to put some stuff in writing? Oh no, you gonna be at this meeting. $30,000 a month. You gonna earn it. It's a job still. It's a $30,000 a month job, but you gonna earn it. But quiet as it's kept. She's sick now because now she got an investigation and Riis. She is in the middle of an election and her opponent is like, "Yep, about to take you out right about now." So let's just pay attention. If you see the Marie Newman case in the news, check it out. I don't know if I did this or not, but I want to take a moment to acknowledge the passing of Cheryl A. Hickman, the national president and chair of the board of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. She passed. I want to say it was last week. Like their national president literally passed in office. So my sincerest condolences to all the women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated on your loss. I don't know if I did that last week, but if I did not, I just want to make sure that I pay some homage. Yes, Chantel, last Thursday. I'm sorry, I'll get it right. Would you like to send me a date and a time, and I can do it all 100%? No problem. Shout out to the 00 triple O's. Shout out to my beautiful, lovely wife. Shout out to Felicia Simmons Stovall, Chantel Franklin, and all the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta who are tuned in. I think, we got quite a few be with us. It's a lot of Deltas, dog. I told you they be renting out. Like, we have our means. We got like we be talking smack because we got the whole hotel. They be like, we'll take the United Center, please. And then be locking people out because you was late. Could you imagine being late in the 300s and they be like, "I'm sorry, you can't get in"? You in the 300s. First of all, can you imagine having a meeting where you got to sit in the 300s?
It's a lot of people.
Hey, bro, I'm just going to say like this, though. If I got to sit in the 300s, my package better be a little different. Right? Like, if you got to sit, first of all, anyway, I ain't even go. I'm going to stop because I'm going to be, next thing there'll be. All right, y'all. Riis, did you see Joe Biden yesterday snap off? Did you see Joe Biden? I'm gonna pull up the clip of Joe Biden in a minute, cause Joe did a little. He yesterday was kind of off the chain. Let me see if I can grab the Joe Biden clip for you all. Joe about tired of y'all talking about whether he mentally capacitated. He got the mental capacity to do his job. He is done about been tired of y'all talking smack to him. Riis, I'm going to play a quick clip from Joe. Let's see if it had.
Questions on inflation then?
Let's move. Thank you. Thank you
Do you
all.
think inflation is a political liability ahead of the midterm?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
What's your man, bro? Joe snapping. Let me just in case you didn't see it. Yesterday, after the press conference, Joe Biden had a hot mic, and a Fox News reporter questioned him about did he think inflation would impact his election opportunities. And here's your boy Joe Biden. Did I not tell?
Questions on inflation then?
Let's move. Thank you. Thank you
Do you
all.
think inflation is a political liability ahead of the midterm?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
You missed that? That's Joe Biden. Joe tired of y'all messing with him.
Joe's done with the.
Joe is tired of y'all messing with him. After that 2-hour press conference last week, he was like, "Yeah, I got something for you, you dumb son of a." You know what? I hope I did that before the Saints get here. So let's do this. Oh, and I got one more thing. I was thinking about this because I was scrolling through, and my son asked me who did I think was going to be in the Super Bowl, and then I was scrolling through, and I was thinking about all the joy we had in watching Aaron Rodgers lose. And then I saw somebody say, man, I want a 49ers jersey. And I said, oh, how quickly we forget. What? Nobody. Colin, we forgot all about Colin. Like, Colin who? Colin who? Was it just 5 years ago? 4 years ago? That right there. That Colin Kaepernick jersey, the fact that we about to go buy about to go buy San Francisco jerseys. That I saw and I was about to say to someone, I sure hope that it is a Colin jersey. And I went and saw the comment, and it was like 3 people who said, I hope you buy a Colin jersey. And I was just thinking, like, there was not one on when Green Bay lost. I promise you, Riis, my feed, my timelines, everything, there was not one mention of Colin Kaepernick. And it dawned on me when I saw that post and somebody said, I want to buy a jersey, a San Francisco jersey. I was just thinking how quickly we forget. All right, y'all. That's why some days I be wondering, do I need to keep on doing this, or should I just go ahead and get my money? Because y'all going to forget in a year. Anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Join Mickey, Elsa, Woody, and more at Disney on Ice presents Mickey's Search Party. Playing January 20 to 23rd and February 3rd to 6th at Allstate Arena. Free parking with ticket purchase.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, and I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:36 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update in sports. The Chicago Blackhawks will get shut out 2-0 against the Colorado Avalanche. Let's move over to traffic. On the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop and back will be 18 minutes. On the Edens, it's 28 minutes in both directions. That's Deerfield to Exchange and back. On the Eisenhower, locked in at 30 minutes. The Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan, 43 minutes. Outbound will be 53. On the Bishop Ford from I-80 to the Dan Ryan will be 34 minutes, 30 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan, 16 minutes to the Loop, 13 minutes to 95th. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, 7 minutes south, 8 minutes north. Today's weather, it is currently 9 degrees and clear. Today will be a high of 12 and a low of 0. I'm Riis the Ruler. Here's back to the Maze Jackson Show.
God got to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane, God got to the grave, from the grave. Back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler. Shout out to Church Chicago. That is, God's going to turn it around. I want to send a big shout out to all the saints who tune in with us every day, starting at 6:30 on 1570 a.m. They go with us every day, 6:30 to, what is it, 8? 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Now, you know, the sinners get here at 6 o'clock. And they stay a little bit later because they need just a little bit more. But I'm going to tell y'all what, man, it is. Shout out to everybody that watches us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, even if you are sharing the broadcast, if you sneaking and creeping, watching, whatever it is, don't be ashamed. Just come on. It's me again. You know I really like that song, man. I'm calling on you. You did it before. I believe that you can do it. Somebody. Man, let me tell you, boy. Shout out to Pastor Terrence Daniels. They did the thing with that. You know, you snuck up on that. Like,
I don't know, but it's definitely it.
But yeah, and they only use like 4 words. They might be like 10 words in that song.
Yeah, because all the other ones, Glory, Gethsemane,
Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. God's gonna turn it around. Glory to Gethsemane, Golgotha to the grave and the grave. You know that's the Easter story. Glory to Gethsemane. Right? You came down from heaven. You had to go to the Garden of Gethsemane where you was praying. Gethsemane, the soldiers came and got him from Gethsemane, took him to Golgotha, where they put him on the cross, and then he went to the grave where they rolled the stone away, and he went back to glory. Glory, Golgotha, glory to Gethsemane, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. God's gonna turn it around. You think about it. God took him to death and brought him back to life. The resurrection. It is without that story that Christianity does not. It is the return, the resurrection of Jesus Christ that distinguishes Christianity from other major religions. And so if you are a Christian and you believe in the faith, that song is the summation of the Gospels, essentially the culmination. Now you could probably add some Nazareth to Bethlehem to right. You could probably throw 5 more words in there, and you'd be like, man. Then don't mess around and go to Canaan. Don't go to, right? You go to the Old Testament. They could probably, I bet they could get like all of the whole story of the Bible in like 25 words. Genesis to Exodus to King David. Oh, to Solomon. God's going to turn it around. Solomon. Let me see. Who gonna go to?
There's too many stories. They could probably do like in 100 though.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Pastor Bryant. Thank you, Reverend Bryant. Reverend Bryant, in case you don't know, I am an ordained minister myself. I was just thinking about, I missed my money on Saturday. Them preachers was acting like I wasn't supposed to be there, but I am an ordained minister. I should have gotten the line and got my $200 from Willie Wilson. Hey, Joe, that was crazy. Dog. I mean, the brother literally, Willie Wilson Riis, he had a stack of hundreds like this and a line out the door. He like, 2 for you, 2 for you, 2 for you. Then I had one pastor was talking smack. All we get is $200. I said, I'll take yours. No. Okay, then.
I said, all right, then you don't get nothing. I really sound you going like this.
You know what? Hey, shout out to Dr. Wilson. No, Dr. Wilson do not be playing with these people. Them preachers be like, attention. He got a Latino hype man, dog. He got a Latino preacher that's the hype man. It's Riis, I'm telling you. He got a production. It's off the chain. All right, y'all. Riis though. Anybody on the San Francisco jersey? Anybody? What? So open up the phone lines. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. If you are a Bears fan, I'll forgive you. Because I can understand your hate of the Aaron Rodgers and all of this stuff, and he came here and was talking smack just this year. However, Riis, I do recall there was a time when Muggs was boycotting the whole NFL because of Colin. Now San Francisco, we got black folks like, I got to give me a, and ain't nobody talking about a cop. What happened? What exactly happened?
You know, some people, after he got settled, you know, so some people felt like, all right, you know, you got your money, you know, you got settled. So it's kind of like, it's over in a way, but like not forgotten. Like if Colin Kaepernick is, you know, if he
is he rooting for the San Francisco? Is he rooting for the 49ers?
You know what? He probably is. In
You
his
think?
heart. In his heart, you know what I'm saying? In his heart. I don't think he has no hate against like San Francisco. He probably has like a bigger animosity against the NFL actually as a whole. I don't think he has anything to do with San Francisco.
Didn't they bench him?
Yeah, but it was kind of like man, you get like, you know, man, the commissioner said you got to stay. You know, it's kind of like one of them, you know, from the top, you know, like, hey man, we're gonna have to bench you if you don't, you know what I'm saying, stand up. So, and he kind of was playing poorly, like a little bit, like when he got benched.
See how y'all look how y'all doing him. See, look at y'all. See, this like slavery, y'all. This is exactly how slavery gonna go.
He was in the slump. He was in the slump.
They just didn't.
He was playing bad.
I just wanted to motivate him. The whip just got him to go a little bit faster because they was going a little bit slow. See how I just want y'all to see how the narrative slides. I'm not tripping. Like, I'm not even bugging. But just think, Colin was the symbol of freedom fighters. He was the end-all, be-all. We took a knee. We split up the whole country. And now it's like, well, he was kind of playing bad.
But that's, like I said, man, that's two different. Like I mean, he's playing bad. I mean, if you go look at his last year's stats, they was not.
Hey, I'm just saying, Jay-Z did. Let me tell you what. I'm starting. You see how y'all forgot about Colin? I'm starting to take the Jay-Z bet. I'm going to have to start betting like Jay, man, because he, like, you can run up the hill. Black people forgot you ran up the hill. They'll tell you slavery wasn't there, but they'll let you make a sitcom. I'm just telling you. And then they'll use that's like, see? This is a slippery slope, y'all. First you let Richard Irvin put the slaves in the commercials, right? Run, baby. When you hear mama coming, when you hear mama hollering, you just run for the hills. You too. Oh God, I just want y'all to understand how to. This though is going to inform our 7:00 conversation because it's like how you, like I really believe like when I was watching the last 3 black men in CPS leave, that was it. At the top, I was just like how far we've slid without recognizing it, and it's like it just take a little bit every year. Just a pinch till you can start grabbing a handful. Then the next thing you know. Anyway, you're right, Riis. Slavery wasn't that bad.
Hey man, he went to the Super Bowl and they was 12-4. The next year they went 8-8. The next year after that they went 2-6. His last year with them before they benched him, he went 1-10. Like
look. He is not a freedom fighter.
Benchable.
Freedom fighter.
He won 1 game out of 11.
So I'm just telling y'all. I'm just telling you this why I started watching football again, because it's like I'm out here taking these. I'm out here sacrificing my life, and 4 years later, y'all gonna be like, man, he was 1-10 though. Like he was the complete symbol of like the racial social justice movement.
So, but does the symbol mean you get to play bad and we still play you in there? All right, well then, listen. I think. Have
there ever been any white NFL quarterbacks who have had those records and still been in the league at least?
He could have made it to the league.
Oh, okay. He's not in. Okay, Riis. That's it. That's all. I'm not saying you gotta be a starter. Just saying they blackballed the boy, the man. Now, I said when he got the Nike deal and he came out with the sports line, I said, you know, Nike going to be sponsoring all our protests. But that's a whole nother story. All I'm saying is, y'all just said, forget Colin. When I saw somebody say, I'm looking for a 49ers jersey, I said, it just clicked for me. Damn. Because I was jumping up and down when the Packers lost. And I'm being solid with you. I did not. Colin did not cross my mind at all until I was scrolling. And I'm just telling you, it's been a week. It's been at least 3 days. What the game was on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today's Tuesday. Okay, so it was 2 days before I saw any mention of Colin.
He a symbol, and the fact that we talking about it now, it shows the impact that he made.
Not really. You ran.
I'm just saying, but he was. I'm just saying, those are two totally different things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like his plan and what he did for the NFL. Like, you know, like his whole boycotting and everything. You know, other players joined him. It was an impact, man. It did make a statement to the fact that we still talking about it years later, since 16. You know, that's 6 years later. So it made an impact.
So are we? So who we rooting for? We rooting for San Francisco now. We rooting for the Rams. Like Can you knowing that San Francisco is what put him out of the league? That's where the blacklist began. He took a knee on the sideline for Trayvon, and we done. We done with him. I mean, we done with that. That fight over with the NFL. Is racial justice been achieved in the NFL?
I don't think racial justice will be achieved not that fast, but it was some measures that was changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we see something bad happen as black people, and then you're like, fix it, and then it's supposed to be fixed like tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't work like that. But it was measures put in place to start like identifying, you know what I'm saying, black people, and they did start recognizing more, which is a start. You know what I'm saying? I take that, you know, and go bit by bit. Like, he really did make an impact in the NFL. Like, he really did, man. But just
but he had a 1-10 record.
Last year he didn't make an impact. The last year he didn't make an impact on his
He
NFL
throw the ball
team.
to himself. He got to pass it and catch it.
Won 3 games.
I'm conflicted. Can I just be honest? I'm conflicted, y'all. I'm just conflicted. Like, I am. I really did want Aaron Rodgers to lose, and I didn't care who did it. And I feel bad. Really, I'm just telling y'all, being honest. I can't help it. I never thought when that game went, bro, I did not even think about Colin Kaepernick. I'm not shaming nobody, because I was actually about to start rooting for San Francisco, but I had to catch myself. I was texting my son yesterday, and he was like, who you think is going to win? And he said the Rams, and I said, man, San Francisco is a bully kind of team, right? And I know, and he was like, Aaron Donald, you know, and they got Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald, plus they got my man Von Miller, who was snapping.
Let me tell you.
I mean, but bro, all I'm saying is
the Rams is gonna work, gonna definitely beat them.
I'm saying we saw Tom Terrific with no squad put it back within 3. If it wouldn't have been for, if Tom gets it in overtime, you know what time it is. If he gets the ball back. So anyway, they're not undefeatable. But man, oh man, oh man, oh man. That ought to be so am I allowed to root for the 49ers?
Yeah, that's what I actually think the Rams are gonna beat them bad, but I'm rooting for Jimmy G. You know, E-I-E-I-E-I-U. You know I'm rooting for Jimmy G.
See? He rooting for the man who replaced Colin. Look at that. Look at the white boy who took his spot. Cause of old Eastern, where they don't even like black people over there neither. Look at that. Jimmy G be around there like, man, what are all these black people doing here in Mattoon?
I mean, the other quarterback is Matthew Stanford. He played for the Detroit Lions. So now you're going to cheer for a man.
Yeah, Matthew, he played in the hood for all his career, bro. Megatron, baby. I mean, that was Megatron. Come on, man. Didn't Matthew Stafford play at Purdue? Okay. Midwest, homie. It's like Big Ten, baby. I'm just saying. I don't know what I feel like. I'm just saying. There was a moment in which we decided we were not going to be wearing Colin. The only jersey we was wearing was Colin. I'm just saying. So y'all buying Colin jerseys?
I'm sure they are now. Like, I'm sure if you tell people that, like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'm buying Colin. I bet black people like, yeah, I'm like, who else on their team? If they not buying Colin, then I think the only other person that you would buy on their team is Deebo Samuel, and that's also a black.
You buy Jimmy Garoppolo? Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna buy no dang Jimmy Garoppolo.
White people will.
Probably. Jimmy Garoppolo will throw 123 yards a game. But.
Yeah, that's y'all. Go, yeah, you. There you go.
Hey, but no.
What conference was y'all?
OVC.
Big Lil. What y'all like, the Lil Six? What y'all in? What conference?
OVC.
What is the OVC?
I don't even know. It's
Octavius Valley.
Ohio
Valley.
Yeah, something like that, like Ohio Valley Conference, something like that. Yeah. We got an automatic bid into the NCAA as long as we went out division. I thought that was pretty cool.
Matthew Stafford went to Georgia? I don't think he went to Georgia. I feel like he was like somewhere from the. All right, look it up. Anyway, you can fact check us. Make sure we're getting it right. All right, y'all. Let me ask you a question. Hey, Riis, you got that button back there, so why don't you hit it for me? I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Go ahead and hit it real quick. I don't know if y'all saw it in the studio. I got my shooting. I put up my target. Maybe I'll put the camera on and let y'all see it in a little while. But yeah, my camera is in this building, and yeah, I shot really well the other day. Yeah, if you come up on me, you're gonna be dead, like straight up, like, and I'll shoot you in the nuts if I have to. It did. That's what I did. All right, it's the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back. No, Riis, go ahead. Give me the big voice.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Riis, why are the Asians fighting to keep black people out of college? I don't know if you've seen this story, but the Supreme Court decided to take up the challenge of racial admissions in schools at Harvard and North Carolina. And this lawsuit is being spearheaded by Asian students who believe that schools that utilize Drew Brees, my bad. Okay. Schools that utilize racial qualifications are essentially preventing Asians from getting into schools, into higher education spots. Let me break that down. So Asian American or Asian students who routinely test as high as or higher than any group are now suing colleges and universities over racial discrimination because they are saying race-based admission prevents them from getting all of the spots that they can. I was thinking about this. And I remember when this debate first came around, or not first came around, but in the late 90s, 80s, 90s, when it was the University of Michigan, and it was the white girl who sued because she said that she was denied admission over racial, because she was a white girl who had higher scores than black kids, but she didn't get in and the black kids didn't get in. And it set off a trickle-down effect where schools that had programs that were bringing minority, or excuse me, and I got to say, I'm going to say minority because back in the day, that's what we called it, right? Brought in black students, programs that were set aside specifically to bring in black students and help them graduate from college, were a form of quote-unquote reverse discrimination. And so colleges and universities who recognized the need for diversity in their schools began, Riis, to create other ways to qualify students and to make sure that their student populations remain diverse. Now, let me give you an idea of what diverse is. At the University of Illinois, where there were 36,000 students when I was there were 1,000 black and 500 Latino out of 36,000. And of those 1,000, I'd say probably half of them were President Award scholars, which was a scholarship that meant that if you were in the top 10% of your class and you got anything over a 24 on your ACT, you automatically got a scholarship to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign or at UIC. And those programs, I'll be honest, Riis, exposed to me for the first time the undereducation of black kids, black youth, right? Because when I got to the University of Illinois, coming from Bolingbrook, and I don't mean this in a facetious way, but coming from Bolingbrook, Riis, as an honor student, I competed with the top everybody in my school, right? And we didn't have, but what I recognized was like there were, if you went to the difference in education, because if you went to Bolingbrook and you started in Ret 105, if you went to, you could be the valedictorian of a city school and you would start in a class called Ret 104. I didn't even know that Ret 104 even existed, right? But it was an opportunity for, it was bridge. And it was the opportunity for people who were black kids who went to schools that didn't have complete programs to catch up. And then, quite frankly, Riis, they caught up and then they excelled. And like almost everybody that I know that graduated from the University of Illinois is doing pretty damn well, right? Like, and I don't say that in a facetious manner, but it was programs like that to me that existed in the late 80s and early 90s that I felt like created a pathway. Now, I don't know what it is nowadays, what the pathway is too, but let me just honestly say it was a pathway to middle classness, right? A path, because I saw a lot of kids who went to school in the city or who didn't come from the greatest backgrounds, but once they graduated from college and got into the universe, they did better than next generation. And I saw a lot. I felt like it was now I also want to change that the economy changed and all of that, but I do believe that there was a value in giving people who would not ordinarily have the opportunity to attend those schools to get in, exceed, excel, and then get into another universe. Well, now the Asian American community and the Asian community is saying we're smarter than everybody, and we're giving up our spots to those black kids that are coming in here on these new programs. And the Supreme Court has decided to take up the issue. Now, the last time this came up, the Supreme Court protected the school's rights, but it was when there was Judge Kennedy and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Since then, the court has flipped way more conservative. But I was thinking about this in that this assault is not coming at us from white people. This assault is coming at us from people who will use the money that they make from our hair care products to send their children to the schools that they don't want our kids to have the opportunity to go to. I'll never forget when I was at the Range Rover dealership, taking my car to get a repair, and I saw this 26-year-old Asian kid come in, and he bought the top line Range Rover cash. Everything, cash. Came in and, he's stunting. And I was like, dang, what, you see that in it was in Downers Grove. You're like, what'd he do? He's like, his parents own hair care stores. Hair product stores. And I was just thinking how much of that money left our community to make him rich enough to buy this. Riis, he was like $125,000 like cash. And I was thinking how much of that money came from our neighborhoods. And now the same people that have come here and farmed our communities are now trying to make us a permanent underclass. Same thing they doing in Africa. Think about the gravity of that. We outside passing, Black Caucus members are outside passing Stop Asian Hate bills. And I'm not saying we should hate anybody, but did anybody before we passed this say, what y'all doing with this lawsuit? Why are you trying to stop black kids from going to college? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Why are Asians trying to stop black people from going to college. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Join Mickey, Elsa, Woody, and more at Disney on Ice presents Mickey's Search Party. Playing January 20 to 23rd and February 3rd to 6th at Allstate Arena. Free parking with ticket purchase.
I'm so glad that the Lord keeps on blessing. Y'all, I must say, every day He's making a way. Ooh, keep on blessing me. Blessed in the city, blessed in the field, even when you come and go. I'm so glad that the Lord keeps on blessing me. Y'all, I must say, in spite of, He just keeps on. Yeah, keep on blessing me. Oh, keep on blessing me.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
Try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies now other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve them. In the mirror, realize you great. Yeah, we always argue with our brothers, but ain't nobody gonna take our place. Just stay in tune and stay on top about who forward, about who not. Just green light all the black economy, then watch all the shooting don't stop. To my black people in power, just remember we put you in power. If you really wanna save all the black princesses, be Mario and not Bowser. They gave us a hard job. We gon' make it if we do it together. Divided we fall, we gotta evolve. With confidence, you are ready before you started. With no confidence in the people, we always gon' make it.
can grow.
I love being black. Me said,
Black people,
I love being black. I said,
we can grow.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis, the ruler, in the building. I'm going to get out of here a little early today, 8:30. Got to go be disappointed about him. Let me stop. I'm not even say nothing. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But I'm writing a book after this experience. I'm just letting y'all know. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Riis, I was just asking, though, man. So I'm doing a little bit more research, and the Asian Americans. So this lawsuit is being pushed by actually Edward Bloom of Maine, a longtime opponent of affirmative action, and he is suing, claiming that Harvard's undergraduate admissions system discriminated against Asian American students and that UNC discriminated against both Asian and white students. Let me go on and read. So this is from my source right now is NBC. The lawsuits were targeted to challenge the admissions process at both private and public universities. So they trying to say that even a private university can't say who they want in their school. Here's another thing I think is pretty interesting that you should think about. It is the name of the organization that is opposing, that is working to keep blacks out of college. Hold on, let me read the name of the organization because I thought it was good. You should pay attention to how they use the words. Dang, I lost it. Anyway, it was called the something Organization for Fair Admissions. You know how we used to always tell y'all, be careful when white people talk about fair? Because fair is subjective. Oh, here it is. The challenges in both cases, students for fair admissions. See how they make those. Remember, y'all, sometimes I be trying to explain to people how words are captured and used to spin kind of the narrative. So students for fair admissions would make you think that if you said, are you with or against students for fair admissions? Riis, you probably assume that you were with the students for fair admissions unless you listen to us regularly.
I mean, I knew it early, like
when white people say fair.
Yeah, I knew that growing, like I knew that growing up. So now, like fair, I mean for everyone, like I understood, and like it's good for us to get spots in college, like from that's like another like form of reparation in a way, isn't but to like set aside from us that couldn't get an education, that was here, that didn't read and write, man, y'all willingly came over here with y'all people over here, and like now you want to like demand and stuff like that. So I mean, maybe they want to get their own in place or something like that, and get their own little percent, but I don't think that they should be asking for like fair when they didn't like go through the same thing that African Americans did, go to a black, whichever one y'all want to be called today.
Well, so what they're saying is just because you black, if a university, here, read this. I'll read it. If a university wants to admit students with certain experiences, say overcoming discrimination, then it can evaluate whether individual applicants have that experience, their brief said. It cannot simply use race as a proxy for certain experiences or views. If you are black, have you experienced racism?
Most definitely. You ain't experiencing it now as they reading that to you.
Well, no, not if it's fair. They want you to assess it on a case by case basis. So I want you to define your discrimination.
So now, what they gonna have a white man in there? Have you ever been arrested?
Or is that discrimination? Did you deserve to be arrested?
I'm just asking.
Yeah, but I mean that's essentially it.
But what is your circumstances that we gonna like? What's the list? You see what I'm saying? Now you got people out there trying to like commit a crime, because now I know if I commit a crime, I go to jail. Or like if I know, like if I live in man, you know what? We got to stay in this poor neighborhood until you go to college, and right after they accept you in there, then we'll move. You see how that loophole is gonna do it?
Well, what I feel like is, who's gonna qualify your experience? and who's gonna say what's enough? Like, some people would say that I would say I experienced racism probably more intensely than most black people growing up in the city. But some people would say, Maze, you got a great education. You didn't get educationally discriminated against. You look at you. And then who's the judge of the level or the level of discrimination or whether it counts? Right? And so
you probably got it more being one of the
I say that I did experience more.
Let's say being the only black, being one of the few black people around you. I'm sure you probably got picked on, way more than like African Americans in like the city, because they probably went to a school that was predominantly black.
Exactly. I would say that I would tell you that people who grew up in the suburbs had a more intense experience with direct racism. I would say people who grew up in the city had institutional racism, and people who grew up in the suburbs had actual racism. And I'm not actual, but like direct impact nigga type racism. But who judges that and who qualifies that? And it's just interesting. So we got any calls? No calls on that? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. How should we respond? Look, the Asians are saying we'll pass the test and beat the white folks, and y'all taking our spots. What say you, caller? It's the Maze Jackson Show.
Good morning, Maze. This is Katie.
Good morning, Katie. You my wake-up call. You done took Brother Frank's spot. We going to make you the president of the phone club in a minute.
It's too bad that they packed the Supreme Court with white males, and we can't get any diversity on the Supreme Court. But I'm glad you pointed out that it's a white guy, you said, that is leading the charge.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. So I wonder who is defending us. And also, we have a lot of data nowadays. So we should have a strong defense about preserving the affirmative action plan, because we have even more data than we had when they did it in, I think, 1979, Baker or whatever that guy was, California guy. So we should come out blazing to defend affirmative action. And the Chinese, I think, when they come over here, they just want to get their piece of the pie. But they're being taught by this white man of what to do to ask for everything. So, but I think that we have enough data now. I mean, I would like to see who is defending the affirmative action. So I will be reading that. Thank you, babe, for bringing the subject up.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate you. Thank you for your call. I feel as though they're taking more opportunity away. Maybe I feel like I'm stuck in a time where I feel like I grew up when there was an opportunity. And I still feel like education in college is one of the best opportunities for black youth to get on the right path. And I just find that it's crazy to me that the Asian community would allow themselves to be put in front of this argument. Riis, let's go to the phone line. Who else is on that call? We got any other callers? All right, caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Hey, Maze, this is Carolyn Ruff. How you doing?
Hey, Carolyn, how you feeling? I'm glad you're home.
Yes, I'm feeling so much better. But what I called in for to wish you and your team a happy new year, and to thank all the people who donated new blankets to the homeless community every year at Christmas Eve. I give out clean blankets or new blankets for this year because of COVID-19. I asked all to donate new blankets, and I received over 300 blankets. And I would like to thank activist Davis and activist Ivy for coming by to see me and to pick up the blankets to pass out to the homeless community because I'm not able to do so at this moment. So I'm just thankful for you and for your team and all of the people that is really concerned about the homeless during this time of the year. And thank you for allowing me to talk, Maze.
Thank you, Carolyn, and thank you for everything that you do for our community. I just want to tell you I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, we do with that, Riis. Anybody else up there? All right, I want y'all to sit that down and let you take a moment to think about it. When we come back, actually, Riis, give me like a 1 minute break. When we come back, I want to take a pivot. I don't know if y'all saw this, but yesterday, the last black men standing at CPS left, tendered their resignations, or were asked to leave. It seems to me as though they were forced out. And it's one of those things that you look at, and it's got me going to backwards and saying, guys, it is happening to us. Like, and what I want to know is, how do we, as black people, assess our place in Chicago? And do we have any say in determining our fate or our outcome? I'll talk to you about it when we come back. Riis, give me about a minute and then we'll be ready to do it again. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be right back.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. For the black people, 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 for the black people. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. For the black people. 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 For the black people.
You are tuned in to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Shout out to my man Tyrone Tate. What's in it for the black? I'm going to have a party and we're going to bounce that. We're going to have the steppers out there. We're going to have a line dance. Who putting a line dance together for the what's in it for the? But y'all can't do too many things. And don't be making me snap, crackle, and pop and do all that. Y'all know I was never in none of the step shows. I was.
Really?
I was only I was in a few. But it was like I used to have extra special workout sessions because I was just not the guy.
For the extra, you there for the extra session.
Yeah, I was like, come on, boom. They be like, left, right, left, right. I be No, Maze, your other foot.
Your other lap.
Right. I finally learned how to do. Then they throw you the cane, and it'd be like, golly. But then when I got one, boy, you couldn't tell me nothing.
You know, when I first pledged, I found out after reading my history that the Sigmas are the originators with the cane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and it took me till I went to Carbondale. I was like, what is all these Sigmas doing with these canes? I think they Kappas, and then somebody was like, no. So then I was reading. I was like, oh, they really the one.
It's a lot. It's a lot. That don't make me go to the other story about the Kappas. Being like, could we, let me stop. People be getting all sensitive. But we did respectfully decline.
I got to see you with a cane. You probably know a little twirl or two.
My cane was strictly for, I used to buy, like other people would buy thin canes. I bought the thickest cane from Walgreens that I could find because I was going to use it to club your ass. I was. It really was. Man, people talked about broken canes. I never broke a cane. Because my joints was always the ones that was like solid oak.
What was you doing in college, man?
Everything. Everything that I didn't. It started the end of my senior year and continued to my exodus from the college. And it was only after the Champaign Police Department said, we recommend that you take your probation in Chicago because if we stop you again, you will be going to Menard. And they were like, your voice is kind of high. And they are a lot of Yankees out there. You're not going to like it in Menard. Hey, Marshall, don't be offended, bro. Yeah, Marshall, it's okay. It's okay. Books, man. That's all right. I'll leave you alone. Okay, y'all. I want to take a moment and I want to talk about it. So let me start here because I started with how do black people manage our outcomes in Chicago? I said Chicago, Illinois, but I really want to focus on Chicago right now. I want to ask, how do we as black people come together? And I want to tell you that I want to know, how do we take the sting out of us? And how do we overcome our inbred opposition? Because I'm going to tell you that I truly believe, and it impacts me too, is that we have over years been bred to oppose each other. And I don't know how we stick together because we're truly under assault. I want to tell you that I often talk about Chicago, Black Chicago, from the perspective of being the landing place of the Great Migration. I think we often talk about Chicago from the perspective of when we were great. Don't get mad at me. I'm not going to say make Chicago great again. But there was a time when there were 1.6 million black people in the city of Chicago. In Chicago. Like, it was a black city. Yesterday, if there were, how many of y'all saw the Avengers and know about Thanos? Remember how Thanos was trying to put the jewels in the ring so he could do the ultimate universe crush? So I would tell you that in Chicago, there's the mayor, there is CPS, there is CPS, there is city colleges, there's the Park District, and there is CHA. And yesterday, we watched as the Latino community put the third of the fifth jewel in their ring. In their, what was that called, Reese? What is it? Thing when he trying to put them in. Whatever it is.
I forgot what it was.
Well, anyway.
That's how the world looking right now, though.
So let me back up. Yesterday, we read a story. You saw the story of interim Chief Education Officer Maurice Swinney, who was being replaced by Bogdana Chingboga, whatever the heck her name is. I can't do it. We also saw the Chief Health Officer, Ken Fox, resign. CPS yesterday flipped Latine. Y'all know, if y'all heard about Latine, and I don't know if it's Latine or Latine, but now they not doing, it's no longer Latinx. It's Latine with an E, so you could get ANO. Right? So you get the Latina and Latino, and you get that. So they split the difference with an E. But they removed, within the last 3 months, the 3 highest ranking black men were removed from CPS. Pedro Martinez is now fully in, as Devin likes to say, in his bag. Reese, it now means that the Latinos control CPS, the city colleges. They forced the last white guy out and his black deputy out at the Park District and replaced her with Rosa Escarino, the temporary person. The only thing left is the Chicago Housing Authority. And at that point, Black Chicago will have lost control or its place in leadership in every major entity within the city. So y'all understand that those are separate units of government. Like they have their own, like the CEO, the mayor appoints, but the CEO is its own unit of government. It has its own standing budget, etc. How do we as black people land I guess I would call it land the plane in a way that we can protect what we got left? Does that make sense to you? Like, so let's just take a look at this mayor's race, and we haven't seen a Latino or Latina candidate emerge. But do y'all understand, like with the exodus of Dr. Jackson, right now the CPS leadership team is 18 people. Of those 18, there are 4 black people remaining, and none of them are black men. When questioned about when CPS superintendent, is he superintendent or CEO? CEO was questioned about the removal of black men completely from the CPS leadership team. Riis, he said he was sensitive to the issue and said he values diversity. You see how they pulled that? You say, man, y'all just got rid of all the black men. He says, I'm sensitive to this, which is why I am going to make sure that we have a diverse, Asian, Latino, Latine, and the remaining 4 blacks. Now my question becomes, who is like Riis? I feel like they're on the way to getting the last stone in the Infinity Glove. Is that what it's called, the Infinity?
The Infinity Gauntlet.
In the Infinity Gauntlet, they now have CPS. They have the future of our children and their education. They have the Park District, Rosa Escarino. They have the city colleges, Juan Salgado. The only thing left is the Chicago Housing Authority, which, if you look on the outside, the Hispanic housing has been the recipient of all of the future, most of the future work. If you look at that, the only thing left would be to grab the mayor spot. And even if they didn't grab the mayor spot, remember, all of these people have contracts that extend past the current, they last beyond the current mayor. If you go into all of these places, they are, and what you're seeing happen now is the infrastructure of what we've got in the school system is now being uprooted. It's no longer, we want the spot. It's now, we're going in and we are taking out your chain of command, your infrastructure, and replacing the pipeline with our own pipeline. So that even when I leave, the only picks you got are the people I put in place, of which none are black. So now my question is, how do we land the plane? How do we land the plane in the city of Chicago so that we can do our best so that we can survive? Not even, at this point, it ain't even about how do we go on the offense. How do we protect the little bit that we got left? Because black teachers, the remaining black teachers, even as they were talking about the removal of black people in these spots, they talked about how low the Latinos are. They're not going to take anything away from the white folks. As always, they're going to take it out of your ass. Excuse me, Saints. Because the answer is never to align with black folks. The answer is to align with the white folks. Because what y'all going to do? At the same time, you see them undermining the Chicago Aldermanic Black Caucus on the remap situation and at a disrespectful level. And the crazy part of this whole thing is, y'all, let me go back to the top of my list, which is, how do black people manage our own outcomes in Chicago? What are the ways that we come together, right? Because think about, we're going to stop in all of this and say, our dumb elected officials, our blah, 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 blah. I was having an interesting, I'll talk about that in a minute. We just saw the Latino caucus make a play earlier. I told you about how they sided with, for the first time in history, they voted against a police settlement, but they used a black woman's story as the scapegoat to demonstrate we own the team. We can work together. How do we as black folks land the plane, or do we leave Chicago? Because in a minute, y'all, we about to get pushed into the corner. I don't know if y'all realize that. But where you think them Section 8 vouchers going? Where you think those houses, that housing that's being built, the new version, they tore yours down. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Riis, I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to take a break. But y'all give me your thoughts. How do we, I don't even know what we got left. Right? You think about it. They coming. They buying over East. It's the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Join Mickey, Elsa, Woody, and more at Disney on Ice presents Mickey's Search Party. Playing January 20 to 23rd and February 3rd to 6th at Allstate Arena. Free parking with ticket purchase.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 7:39 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. Over to the Kennedy, there's an accident, so O'Hare to the Loop now is 54 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 23. On the Edens, inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange is now 50 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield will be 32 on the Eisenhower. Thorndale to the Loop will be 56 minutes. Thorndale back will be 34 minutes. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be an hour. Outbound will be 35 minutes. On the Bishop Ford from I-80 to the Dan Ryan will be 45 minutes. 40 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan is now 20 minutes to the Loop, but 13 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive, the south side is still same as 7 minutes, but on the north, Randolph to Bryn Mawr will be 8 minutes. Bryn Mawr to Randolph will be 12. Today's weather is currently 7 degrees and sunny. Today will be a high of 12 with a low of 0. I'm Riis the Ruler, and here's Sparkle with Ease here on The Mace Jackson Show.
You see me, you see him, my best friend. He hold me down like ankles fighting the waves. A partner to my crime, yeah, do time. Till I'm with you, I'll be counting the days. Yeah, ooh, been through so many things, but we always get through. Yeah, ooh, it ain't always perfect, but it's worth it. This is deeper than the surface. If I said I didn't love you, you would not know I've been running. Wiped all my scars away like it was nothing. Took the parts of me I tried to hide to make them something, something, like it was nothing. Ooh, some magic, baby. Ooh, you know you drive me crazy. Ooh, you give me peace of mind. Ooh, let me tell you why. You make it easy, say, to take it easy, say, feel so weak, say, easy to love. Say, to take it easy, say, feel so weak, say, easy to love. I never thought that I would give it to you, but now I don't think it's the time, I won't do it. I think it's cause the way you talk to me, know how to say it without making me feel little. You're gracious even when you pop off on me. When you get done, I got a little something to drop off on you. Because you earned it with the time you took to put it that way. You got me liking to get put in my place. I didn't love you, you and I know I've been frontin'. Wiped all my scars away like it was nothing. Took the parts of me I tried to hide to make them something, something, like it was nothing. Ooh, some magic, baby. Ooh, you know you drive me crazy. Ooh, you give me peace of mind. Ooh, let me tell you why. You make it easy, say, to take it easy, say, feel so easy, say, easy to love.
You are listening to the Mace Jackson Show. That song is so easy to listen to. Shout out to my girl Sparkle. I just was letting it ride. I was just like, man, I was just giving my little groove. Say, easy to love. When y'all hear me karaoke it, though, I got my auto-tune on my karaoke. Y'all gonna be like, you make it easy. Then I'm gonna be making up my own words because they don't got the words on that. But anyway, it's the Mace Jackson Show, y'all. So y'all know I got a housing expert on my team. She been telling me about this. I remember she called me up and, you know, I ain't even lie. Some days she be calling me up and she be like on fire about housing issues. And I just be like, now you know that's what you do. But I remember distinctly getting a call from President of West Center for the Black People. And she's more than just a housing person. I just want to make sure you know that. But when I got a housing question, that's who I call. she was like, Hispanic housing is taking over. And I was like, calm down. I felt like Aaron Rodgers. Calm down. Tamika was like, no, it's happening. And I'll be like, and I ain't gonna lie. There's a part of me that does, I'm not a housing person in that space. But Tamiko told us this was happening, and it didn't dawn on me that CHA would be the final jewel in the legacy gauntlet. And Riis, to me, if they so imagine if you were trying to run the world, you was trying to crush the black universe, and you took the control of their children's education through Chicago public schools. Then you took their ability for higher education, which is being fought across the country right now at city colleges, and you put your person there. So even if they get out of CPS, you take that, you're in control of their next. Then you take the park district where the kids go play. Remember what I told you about my man Juan Rangel, who told me that children create a base because every child has two parents and most parents will do whatever for their children? And the final jewel left, CHA. Imagine controlling all of those as you move to create the right for undocumented immigrants to vote. And you can hit them at school, at college, at home. And now you have a crippled black base that has no power. Because we don't control any of the external government. And right now they're under assault in city council, and you have a mayor that recognizes that she's under attack, and her path to election is not through the black community, but through the Latinos. Imagine if you know you're on your way out and you never liked them ninjas anyway, and you hand the gauntlet to someone else with all of the jewels in place. Can I ask you all, where do black people fit right now? And how do we stop this? Like, can I just tell you, like, realistically, we've already slid. We've already slid. Like, I don't know that we're on the other side of the mountain. Now the question is, and what I'm saying is, everybody that's left, that's black, finds themselves under assault by the oppositional forces, because they're not only if they don't control the spot, then they control the people on the board whose job it is to get rid of the black people. How do we stop this? Is it too late? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Riis, I got anybody on the line? Anybody? What y'all thinking about this? Or am I just missing this? Because, again, what do we look like standing up talking about we got to fight for the right of our undocumented immigrants to vote when, guys, they're not going to vote for you? And we got black elected officials standing up here talking about they fighting for their brothers and sisters, but they brothers and sisters have consistently demonstrated that they ain't our brothers and sisters. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Black people, we are on the downside of the hill. How do we protect what we got left? Or do we even have anything left worth protecting? Caller, what say you? Hello?
Hey, how you doing, Mace?
James Turner, what's up? Big truck?
What's up, bro? Say it again.
Big truck. You know,
you said Trump?
Truck, big truck. You know?
Oh, truck. I thought you said Trump. I ain't that far. I was thinking about
Reis.
voting Republican. I'm definitely not going there. But anyway, I just wanted to say, when black people get into power, we need to stop being so concerned and caring and honest with other people, and because they don't care about us. And I was thinking about the piece you talk about with the Asians and how they're concerned about black people in colleges. They don't care. We were kidnapped. We were brought here, enslaved, denied education, and they got the nerve to talk about how black people are getting education before other people, and we were denied education for so many years. We need to stop being concerned and caring about anybody else once we get in power, and just start doing some of the same dirty stuff that white people do to people. They don't give a damn. They'll do all types of dirty stuff right in your face. And maybe we need to start doing that. And I'm be honest, after listening to some of the things that I've heard, it started making me think more of why Republicans do the things they do. And maybe we should start taking some of these strategies to help ourselves and stop being so nice and honest and polite and just start doing dirty stuff too. You know, now I know it's going to be a little more difficult for us because we still got a whole government against us, starting from the police to the judges to the lawyers, you know. But if we're going down anyway, you know, we might as well do whatever we can to try to help ourselves as much as we can when we have a little bit of power. And that's basically what I wanted to say, and I hope that made sense to you.
That made sense, James. It's like I be like, could we have a division of authority? Thank you. Hang on. It's like we always scared, and nobody's scared to do it to us. Like, think about the gravity of if we fired every Hispanic male in anything, the outrage that would come. And where is this black mayor? Like, do y'all understand? So we talk about the most important thing to black boys is to see a black man. Man, please. Next caller. We got a call? Anybody got anything to say? The last black man left the leadership team of CPS. And there's only 4 black women left. Now let me ask a question. You think them 4 black women ain't gonna wind up being the angry black women that get excavated? And who gonna protect them? Who gonna check them? Caller, what do we do to stop? We on the other side of the mountain. I'm through trying to say, what do we do to stop the slide? Do we give up? Do we keep fighting? What do we do? And how do we protect ourselves of what little we got left? Caller, hello?
Mace?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Uh-oh, yep, I can.
Mace.
Yes.
Okay, here goes.
Oh, Uncle Rosie. What's up, Uncle Rosie? I see you. I hear you.
Hey, I'm sorry. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. Well, I'm not great because I was like, it dawned on me, Uncle Rosie, when I was writing my show that they only got to put one more jewel in the crown, in the gauntlet.
I know.
And they could knock us off the map.
What I'm about to say is a very, very, very sad commentary. But our problem started with the experiment with the Cuban crisis when they came over. See, number one is we don't know our history. And let's go back to some fundamental things. Belief doesn't have to have anything to do with truth. Belief is a overwhelming conviction by the majority of the people, and we act out of those beliefs. But back then, the white folk realized that when Martin Luther King, there was only white and black in the matrix. We were fighting white and black, white and black. White folk said, no, we got to put in a intermediary. We got to put a wall around us to keep our daughters and our sons from intermingling with those black folk. So the great minds of the white man says, okay, let's bring in Latinx. Well, what's so unique about Latinx? Like Latinx, most of those people who speak Latinx are under socialist governments. Now we have all of those, that influx coming in. Now let me show you. My greatest hero on earth is Joseph Caleb out of Miami, Florida. And he's deceased now. He was killed because he was too much of a liberator. But he helped elect the first Latin American mayor in Miami. And when the Latins got in, they turned their simple backs on black folk and looked at us with despise. When I was a young man, I was working in the aircraft industry. I had some friends who were Latins. And they told me out of Cuba, say, look, we can live in the same neighborhood, but we teach our sons and daughters, do not marry and date those black Negroes, Latin, Cuban Negroes. They have a caste system. And those same people brought that same system over here. Now, let me tell you, I look at the number of Florida tags being seen in Chicago. The number of Florida tags, rental tags being seen in Chicago, people drove those cars up. And I'm beginning to think that there's a movement of Latins into Cook County, because wherever you find black folk, you're going to find Latins because they think we're stupid. But anyway, it goes back to here. The problem is our gatekeepers. God knows, if we keep the present people in office, what in the world can we expect for them to do but what they know best? And that is lead us into this situation. I mean, until we look at it, and there's no other way to go. Who's responsible for this? This didn't happen by osmosis. This was developed and created meticulously. So I say this to you: is we're in a bad situation, but we have to understand that they could not have done it without our complacency. How in the world can we, our leaders, sit back and say, over the last 10 years I've been in office and this is the result of my work? I don't know. Hey, maybe we need to get organized crime to lead us. Maybe we need to do something, because this is a game that our people just don't see, our leaders just don't seem to have a taste for. I don't know, maybe, something we need to say. People, wake up. Wake up. These Hispanics do not love us. These Asian people of color do not love us. They want to be white. That's why they come to America. They want to be white. In the contract, written or unspoken, say, you come in here because you're going to follow the plan, the American dream. And the American dream, systemically, is to keep black folk at the bottom. But at the end, there is hope. The SUN is going to come, and the rays from that SUN are going to put those silly people to sleep. And they're going to, just like it put the pyramids, the people who build those pyramids, they put them to sleep. And we are the result of that sleep. We are woke, and it's going to happen. But I don't think that we continue to do it unless we look at those present people who are in office and say they are the ones. We got Miami, we got Detroit, we got Gary, Los Angeles. We got examples of where Hispanics have come in and done their stuff. And our silly leaders, God bless them, they're just as silly as a beelzebub. They can't see beyond the dollar. Thank you, Mace, for listening and allowing me to say this. Regret to have to say this. It's bad commentary.
Thank you, Uncle Rosie, for preaching. I appreciate you for calling in. Let's go. We got anybody else on that line? Caller, you on the Mace Jackson Show.
Good morning. Wow, he just took me to school. I don't know if I should follow him.
You should.
I'm enjoying the show. I just wanted to say... Hold on
1 second, real quick. Hold on 1 second for me, caller. Let me thank everybody that is tuned in to us at WBGX 1570. We are going to continue this conversation in this broadcast. Join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You got about 3 more minutes to join us. Go ahead, caller. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I wanted to thank all the listeners.
No. That's okay. I just wanted to say real quick, I cringe every time a black person says minorities and people of color. If we don't start saying black and fighting for black people, we're fighting for everybody else, for education. I don't know if people are aware that there are more Latinos or Latinx or what have you in college right now than black students. That's in most of the country, and it's definitely the case in Illinois as we fight for their rights. My son attends University of Illinois in Champaign. He has a scholarship for minorities. That means Latinos can qualify for that scholarship, but there's also one that's just for Hispanics. We need to let that sink in. We have got to start fighting for ourselves. That's all I wanted to say.
Caller, thank you. Let me tell you, I attended the University of Illinois in 1989 on a President's Award Scholarship Program. It was the minority student. It was from the minority students. At that time, there were 1,000 black students and 500 Latino. Now that it is actually reversed, where there's 1,000 Latinos and 500 blacks, and it's all over the country. And it's like, again, I don't know if y'all remember me telling y'all about MLI and the Metropolitan Leadership Institute, which, by the way, they've already started. Like, y'all, we got passive people teaching our children politics of assimilation and how to be palatable to white folks, but nobody teaching them how to fight for our existence in this city. It has become painfully obvious to me over the last 2 months that we are politically ill-equipped for any confrontation. Any. We are peace-loving, don't want no trouble, hoping that every time we give up something, that they won't take no more. I think Riis, the thing I feel like I learned in life is the moment that you give it up, they gonna keep taking it. If you gonna give it up, they gonna take it. It's like, this fight ain't gonna be won in the newspaper. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's go to the live line. Call you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Good morning, Maze.
Good morning.
Thank you for taking my call. Good morning. Al Evans calling you. Just want to say that we got... What's up, brother? We got to keep fighting. And I thank you for teaching. I thank you for providing a venue where we learn from each other, because a lot of your callers educate me, you educate me, but I'm a fighter. And I believe that we're going to have to keep fighting. Using an analogy from this past weekend, Kansas City Chiefs pulled that game out with 13 seconds. We got to fight to the bitter end, period. That's about all I got to say this morning.
Alvin, Al, I want to fight. I was just thinking about, but though this fight, will it wind up like Colin? Right? Like, people trying to buy San Francisco 49er jerseys because we done forgot. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Let me go to the caller. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What you got for me? Caller?
What's going on, Maze?
What up? Who this is?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
This is Brother Joel Passmore. How you feeling?
I must have really did something, because you done got a... Joel, I don't never see you calling in. I always see you online, but I don't never see you calling in. I must have tickled a nerve today.
Yeah, you tickled a nerve. But look, real quick, what I think we need to do, Maze, and you was on this a while back, but I haven't heard if you still going in this direction. But what I think we need to do is either one or two things. I'm going to throw it out there in the universe. Number one, I mean, I hate to say it, Maze, but we're going to have to start either going Republican in some of these Democratic bastions like Chicago and Illinois,
or we're gonna have to kind of carve out a new section of the Democratic Party, which is sort of like the Tea Party, but part of the Democratic Party. And when we do that, we're going to have more Black American rights and less Latino rights, because those two things, they don't work hand in hand. All right? If you go to all of these southern states to visit, and then even out west, in most of these Republican states, Black people doing better than they're doing here. They just don't have as many elected officials. And see, my thing is, what good is an elected official if they basically neutered and they ain't got no fight left in them, if I could use a dog analogy? We just got a collection of elected officials. But just like with Barack Obama, they so connected to the Democratic Party that they fighting everybody's fight except for the Black American fight. So that's why, to bring it back home, I think we're going to have to separate ourselves and either have a faction of the Democratic Party, like the conservative Black Democrats, or we're going to have to go into the Republican Party and carve out a niche in there. What you think, May? What say you?
Thank you. Well, look, you doing my job talking about what say you. First of all, thank you for your call. Let me say, I agree. I think that's the purpose of, if you go to our Facebook page, the Black People First Party, where regardless of who you sit with, you know that you are Black first. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I feel like we need political warriors. People that you can look out in the audience or in the crowd and be like, I don't want no problems with that. Politically. That's why I'm asking you to join me on Saturdays. 10 o'clock, we're meeting at TP. We building a squad, Joe. Like, it is painfully obvious to me that we cannot protect ourselves, both politically, in some cases physically. Riis, did I tell you I went to the range this weekend? You see I got my bullet holes up here. Riis, it was people getting ready in that range. Like the parking lot was full. There was people, and it was white folks. They was getting ready. I mean, I feel like we have to have a presence. I feel like I need to get me some ECCSC. I need me some 761 Gun Club. We need some Wiftaba. We need New Era Chicago. We need. Think about this, y'all. They literally wiped Black men off the CPS executive map yesterday. All we got left is 4 Black women. No shade to the 4 Black women, but you know they going to be pushed down the list. And then when they start talking about that Black stuff, they going to be, and you need to keep your job. Hey, Riis, you ever been to a meeting when the vote is 12-4? All the time? You can raise your hand all day long. That's why I tell you I be going through. I be like, wait, what? You're outvoted. And now, think about all your Black principals in your schools now reporting up to a Bulgarian boss with a Latino bend. What y'all gonna do to protect our kids? What are we going to do? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Anybody on that line, Riis? Caller, what say you?
Good morning, Maze.
Good morning.
I think we lost CPS over 10 years ago, and it was shown really with the contracting. back about 10 years ago, there was a food company called TNT. They had a significant portion of the food contract delivering food to many of these CPS schools. When the owner died in approximately 2013-14, there was not any support for the company to keep the contract that it had.
The
and
pizza
consequently,
people. The pizza. Wasn't it? Was it the pizza?
No, TNT. No, TNT was a black food company that did a lot of business with Cook County Hospital, Cook County, CPS, and the list goes on. But the black people that were in CPS at the time did not support the son and daughter with keeping the contracts there at TNT, and consequently, we were iced out of the food business with CPS. There was no black support from the board, nor from the administrators. What I'm saying is this. I think we lost the battle a long time ago because the blacks that we had within CPS as administrators, they did not stand up for black businesses. That also holds true with the bus company. Neil Bus Company was a major contractor with CPS. And it was a Latino that put the screws to Neil's Bus Company that resulted in it losing contracts with CPS. So the battle has been lost long before these last few black spots were erased yesterday. We seem to have administrators, black professionals that do not advocate for the black businesses.
Can I tell you something?
And that's my comment.
Thank you for that comment. Can I tell you something, though? What they do is they trade off, right? So what they do is they trade off the business opportunity that the black business has for a plugged or a black person. So the challenge is we trade ownership. We trade 100% ownership for joint ventures and partnerships that really don't grow our business. So I would tell you that I bet you within the mix of what you're talking about, there are black businesses that are partnered with these companies to give them the black cover, right? So, and the challenge that we have in this space is a lot of times people like those bus companies or those food companies, because they don't play the political game, i.e. they don't make contributions, they don't do things to help those black elected officials get in. Usually the white company that or the company that replaces is smart enough to hire a black person that everybody knows, that everybody wants to see successful, and they take what we had 100% of, they get 5% of what we used to have 100% of. It is a travesty, and it's how they kind of pick a Negro. Right? Like, so they pick a Negro and say, you going to be our new Negro in this space. We going to make you rich. But your richness is at the hands of us being able to use you to take away contracts from other black people. You hit a very sore spot, and it's a weird position because we celebrate these black folks that are put in these spots because they're popular, they go out, they're philanthropic, etc. But the reality is they are actually, in a lot of cases, kryptonite to black businesses, because if you got Aramark is going to say, well, who's going to be our black partner so we can kick Robinson's out. Thank you for that call, man. It's crazy. And She-Ra, you call it a sellout. I don't know that we necessarily knew that it was a sellout back then. Because if, for instance, if Aramark calls you as a small black business owner or a guy and says, hey, man, I want to partner with you globally, and I'm going to make you a millionaire. Riis, we sit down so bad, what you going to be like, nah? You don't know nothing about the pizza company. You don't know nothing about the bus. All you know is, man, Joe, I'm about to
get this million.
I'm about to be a millionaire. And even for all, I just won't listen to the Mace Jackson show. I listen to my private jet as I take trips around the world and get to go to all these meetings and be with all these. It's crazy because they leverage the people that they often put in front of us are really the destroyers of our businesses. Like if you look at the most successful black people, for the most part, in CPS and all, they're all part of a joint venture, or they're all part of something where they got a piece, but the white folks do the thing. It's the Mace Jackson Show. We got anybody else on the line? Y'all give us a call, 872-259-7474. How do we protect what we got left, if we got anything left? What's up, caller?
Byron here. Good morning, Mace Jackson.
See, Byron, don't be calling me talking about some good morning, Mace Jackson, and be like, "What's up, Riis?" Don't be pulling that, Byron. You know you my man.
I got to be nice. I have to be nice.
No, you be yourself, Byron. We love you just the way you are, dog.
No, I have to be nice. I don't want to be canceled. You know, I don't want to be canceled. By the way, every month, over 120,000 South Americans come across that border. To this date, in a year and over 2 million have came across, equivalent to some states, some little red states that don't have that many people. They are bringing, the Democrats are bringing in people to replace us, Maeve. It's a Democrat doing it. Trump will not do it. Trump was trying to help you guys out, but you guys didn't see it. I know Riis saw it, because Riis is a dude.
Oh, Lord.
I'm telling you, Riis got to follow your line just a little bit every day. You know, he just got to follow the line. But I know Riis. He's a trumper, too. Because we are being replaced, even here in Chicago, all the big cities, with the liberals. The Democrats just uses us, and we don't seem to understand it. We got to do what's in our best interest. It's Ice Cube or Ice-T had a big old plan, $10 billion plan with Trump. Let's take it. What has Claiborne given black folks? Except for he wants black folks to have water while you wait in line to vote. That's all he wants. He wants black folks who already know how to vote, or smart people, to have water when they're waiting in line to vote. What kind of craziness are we following? What kind of leaders are we following? I'm trying to be nice, Maeve. I'm trying to be nice. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to be nice.
Byron, all
our leaders, Maeve, one more thing before you cut me off. I know you can cut me off.
I'm not going to cut you off, Byron.
All our leaders have to go. All our leaders have to go. Forget the Democrat Party anymore. We got to play this thing. Whoever is going to offer us the most as a people, we got to look for our brothers and sisters who are not getting me be taught in school because the unions are controlling the schools. And that's a socialist union controlling our schools and teaching us kids nothing. Okay? We got to get control of it. So we have to go and align ourselves with those people who want to collectively help black people. Not just me. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
When we get a deal, we got to think about other black folks behind us, right? We got to think about other black folks behind us in the line and for success, because we can't just think about ourselves anymore. We all one team, because once they get rid of all of us, we all in the last ship to Africa, we all be on it. Now tell me, man, what you get to say? I know you.
Byron. I feel like you saying they will not replace us. They will not replace us. Byron, like what you say makes so much sense, bro. It's just that whole, when you say Trumper. It's like Riis, like, yes. Riis gonna get in my hat. Now, if we had a red and white hat that said "Make Black Chicago Great Again," I might rock that bad boy. Byron, you got to keep on calling though, man. You provide some. I appreciate Byron's perspective. Beulah says it's the Newsmax view.
Yeah, that's it.
And then Salim said Byron not Ados. Look at Salim. Now Salim, you trying to throw some shade. I do like Byron though. I like Byron's calls. He be cracking me up. We got any other callers on the line? Caller, you on the Maze Jackson show. What do we do? What does they say? The battle is over. The Lord done fought the battle, and the battle is over almost. I just wonder, what do we do to protect what we got left in this city? Caller? Hello? Caller, are you there?
I think it's Devin Gordine again.
Devin! Speak!
Imagine being on hold, then he put us on hold.
But also, speaking of that, shout out to Felicia Simmons Stovall, Devin, and Dr. Audrey. All of you all, I will have your document.
Yo.
You gonna put? Hold on, dog. You put us on hold, Joe?
No, man, I don't know what happened, bro. What's going on with it, though?
What's going on, Devin? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, I'm trying to be successful, man. But, yes, definitely shout out to Doc and Felicia. 34, we in the dough. Meet us, Ada Park, 2-2. Let's get this thing kicked off, man. All we got is us. Look to the left, look to the right of you. Them the only people that you got, man. So come out Saturday, TPs, 10 o'clock. I mean, we only give y'all all the opportunities, man. So otherwise, it's just going to be me and DJ. You know what I'm saying? So
don't forget about me.
We got to groom the leaders that we want. And you. I mean, yeah, of course, you know. And Swillzilla. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got to groom the leaders. We got to pick the leaders with the characteristics and the qualities that we want. You know what I'm saying? We the problem. I'm the problem. So I got to fix myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Every day you hit us with something new. We got pillars, gears. You got pillars, I got gears. Find something that you want to get involved with. If you want to get involved with housing, we got somebody. If you want to get involved with schools, we got somebody. We need people that can write. If you got a skill, if you got 2 arms, a brain, 2 legs, even if you just got one leg, we need you. New Era need people. ECCSC need people. But you got to get involved. It's something for everybody, man.
That's my man, Vice President Devin Gordine. He be putting it to y'all from the Gully Geechee side. And he ain't no Bears fan, just so we know. He's the biggest Bears troll in the history of Bears trolls. So we ain't on none of that Bear stuff he be talking. But it is the Maze Jackson show. Riis. Like, they only got to get one more jewel in the gauntlet, bro.
Keep letting them in, man. Let the men build that wall, man.
Oh, you tripping. You tripping. So, can I say this? I don't feel like I want to be I'm not against Latinos. I am against the erosion of our power, and I am against us sitting idly by, thinking that as people continue to choose violence on us, that one day they're going to stop without us standing up for ourselves. You know, I feel like we that thing where you ever seen that picture, Riis, where they put they got all the checkerboard on the backs of all the black people, and they say if they just stood up, the game would be over? You ain't never seen that? Like, it's like all these people, and it's like these white rich businessmen, and they playing checkers or chess on the backs of black people who are like acting as the physical table. And they say if all they got to do is stand up and the game will be over. And I think I was having an interesting conversation with a black leader who told me that when you get there to the spot, it still takes a lot of work to get something done for black people, because you got to find allies. You got to find people. You can't do it alone in a lot of cases. And it's funny because I've been watching as the people of color take over certain things or become part of, and I watch as the Democratic Party brags about people of color. But the number one underminer of the black woman in power is another quote-unquote woman of color that the disrespect, the ignorance doesn't come from white men, and it's everybody else who trying to get points with white people taking shots at black people. Does that make sense at all? Like, that's what I saw yesterday. Riis, you know how you was like, man, don't tell me she got the settlement. Reading the story of the black woman who had the first time the city council denied a settlement in like 20 years was a black woman. It sent a message. Now, I don't know that she should have got paid for it, but the fact that they never questioned it before, Riis, and then yesterday, it was the Latinos who took the lead because the white people were scared to say something, who said, oh, what's that? How y'all be doing when somebody say, hold my blunt, hold my beer? Oh, you need somebody to disrespect the black people? We saw 2 examples today. We saw when it was time at Harvard, somebody wanted to deny black kids education. There were willing participants, willing people of color who participated in the disenfranchisement of our people. Like, Riis, how is it possible that there are no black men in leadership at the whole entire CPS? And the fact that there is no fear of repercussion. And now the 4 sisters that's still left, Riis, they got to pay a mortgage. What they going to do, get some more black men here? I mean, who advocates?
They do.
No, they don't. Riis, if it's 4 out, look, remember what I told you, though. Remember I told you this is the thing I'm going through right now. If it's 4 people out of 16, out of 8, 4 people out of 18, you got 4 votes, 18, everybody else like, we don't care about what you talk about. You can raise your hand all day. At a certain time, them 18 gonna be starting to look at you. Them 16, you it's 4 of y'all, it's 14 of us. Y'all keep making these meetings go long because y'all keep talking that black stuff. Can I tell you, Riis, I go to a meeting. I'm a member of a board. And every board meeting, I stop at the end of the meeting and I'm like, show me how many black people and it be black people, white people, everybody, oh God, here he go again. Right? It takes a lot to be that dude. And a lot of people ain't, and if you need your job, you taking that L, you gotta pay a mortgage. You looking around and they like, you can go, what y'all call it? ABK, EBK, everybody killers. Like, you could get it too.
See, but that's what it is, though. You see how you just said how you in the meeting and you raising your hand and everybody else looking at you. So are we raising our hands in our meetings? Are we speaking up in our meetings?
Riis,
or are we just,
I mean, I think it's very easy. When you realize it's futile, like when the majority is against you, you can raise your hand every time. Now, I'm on the record every time being like,
majority gonna always be against us, so you know what I'm saying? That ain't no excuse for us. I'm sure at one point it may only been 2 Latinos on there or 1 Latino on there, and you know what I'm saying, and as you see, I watch you come in here, and you know what I'm saying, there's always well, not always, but I hear stories of how you saying the Latinos are doing this, are doing this. They speaking up. Are we fighting for them positions?
Nah, because the people is busy cutting you down for trying to speak up. Black folks, again, the white folks tell on you and the black folks tell on you. Right? Like the black folks So I could sit up here and defend every black person on the thing, and there'll still be a black woman who will run to some Democrat in power and be like, May's trying to help the Republicans, trying to score points off. It's all these white people trying to take your whole world down, but your points become black people get points for turning in Negroes or trying to turn in Negroes, and so they think. And I was just, Riis, as I watched this thing happen, it's like, think about this conversation right now that I'm having. Someone black will say he is anti. And they will be the next person losing their job or losing their opportunity. This is, I want y'all to understand that in Chicago public schools now, yesterday, they fought the last two black men in the last 3 months. Every black man in leadership has been removed from CPS, and when we asked them about it, when the Black Caucus asked about it, Jason Irvin said, Chairman Black, because if those people are replaced and they're not African American males, of course we'll be concerned. But what you gonna do? What can you do?
What we gonna do?
Well, that's my point. Like, what can we do? What can we do? Black folks feel like they get more points. They feel like they get more respect for telling on black people or trying to get black people in trouble than they do slaying their enemies. Hey, Riis, you present them a dead body, guess what they be thinking? Man, they capable. If everything you know how to do is run and go find some white boy to come get the black person, white boys be like, well, I ain't scared of them. It's like the crazy thing that is wild to me is that how we don't really understand that our existence is linked. Like, we talk smack about the elected officials, and the elected officials go into their hole, and it's like then they worried about the Latinos disrespecting the sisters. Well, that's because you done alienated yourself from your threat. I bet you don't see no Latinos being like, hey, shoot, they be getting funding for they guys. Remember, they got funding for their guys to attack black people during the riots. Black folks have cut themselves off from their own resources. Like, how the government cut off from the army? You see what I'm saying? Like, our government is cut off from the army, and then the government want to go to the war. Right? So then the government who cut themselves from the army is the people that got to go to battle. But, dog, you ain't got no guns. You ain't got no... What you gonna do? Riis, how do we come together? Because I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you I'm not above it. I am as guilty as everybody on this broadcast. Because clearly, you know I'm petty. But I got to figure out, how do we get past petty to power? Riis, this is the Mace Jackson Show. Now, Ruthie played you. She changed the days because this was supposed to be the Riis and Ruthie show. And now I'm not going on Thursdays. So, you better try and figure it out. But anyway, Riis, how you feeling, man? You all good?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm good.
All right. Well, look, we got to get up out of here because I got to go put the air on in the car because, you know, it's air conditioning right now. Turn on the air in the car so I can get ready to go take care of my thing. But I got to get out of here early. I will be back tomorrow. Don't forget my birthday is on Sunday, so I'm taking all birthday gifts now. Oh, and I think I beat Tennille on the birthday wishes on my page. For her on my page. Dang, Tennille was getting famous. The Speaker of the House told Tennille happy birthday, though. I was like, dang, you... Whew. Anyway, y'all, it is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. So for Maze and Riis and Ruthie, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, where I ask every single day, what's in it for the black people? Now, if you don't like it, still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. Act 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.